mommy them, for all our uncle them, our auntie them, for all our big brother them, our big sister them, for all our neighbors them, and Ambazonian picking them. Una good evening for all una. I be una brother, we na Asu Lucas, we na the press secretary for the Executive Office for Governing Council of Ambazonia. My fellow Ambazonians, today we get a very fine evening where we would get to read tonight with the leader of a war of liberation, the Ogak Patak Pata for the man when I tell Ambazonian people and say the only thing we go free we na guns and bullet. The man when I bring self-defense for the Ambazonian people them. The man when I tell the Ambazonian people say we need a roadmap, we need for build an army, what people they need for carry guns, for defend themselves, for defend their communities, for defend the land. The man when I tell all we say if our people they not carry gun, anything would they do for say we want independence, it could be a waste of time like the other people they don't try before this time around. Today, the story today, now with the leader of our war of independence, Dr. Ayaba, the master of self-defense and the strategist for the liberation. Una good evening for all man. The story today, we go to talk with the big man, the Ogak Patak Pata for all soldiers, them for self-defense. The man way na sabi how for make gun, make it waka, how for defeat la Republic du Cameroon. Now which kind trap they go set up? Now which kind strategy? Now which kind work we need for doing? Now how we go end Cameroon occupation of Amazonia? Today, we will talk now for you with you today. We will get you for studio today. It don't stay, we will talk for you. So the question them today, they go over plenty. We hear all kind big news. It don't come up for ground zero. Forces, they don't unite. We don't hear the news, they don't come up for Fako. We don't hear the news, they come up yesterday for Babanki. All across Ambazonia them, we hear good news. Now we today we say make we bring the big man for self-defense. Make he can't tell the Ambazonian people. This breakthrough where it don't just happen so. Now how it come about? This kind of turning point where Ambazonia they don't decry. They decry unity. We say we want make forces they unite. We want make forces they collaborate. Now how it just reach where the unity for ground zero, it don't come so. Now how this unity would ask you, the big man for war don't launch the program where they call and say the stabilization plan. It did an army when I go to do the kind big work them for liberate the land. Now we want ask it today. Make it tell we wait till be the magic we do for create this unity. Wait for 4 years. Ambazonia they never ever get them. We don't the yes unity don't come among the forces. So we go to ask you, make it tell we who's how they what did they happen for ground zero? How this unity come about? A plan for the stabilization plan and how the stabilization and unity for ground zero, how those things they connect for make sure say ground zero work a fine. Move for La Republic for inside our communities, our territory for free Ambazonia. We want to ask you, make it tell we more because Sabisi will not get time. Most of the time we need to hear from me. Make it tell we how that stabilization plan and the operation 10,000 AK bullets, the operation 10,000 AK bullets. Now how all things they come together for move the Ambazonian people them forward. So today, make we hear from the big man for our war, the Ogak Patak Pata for self-defense, the master of all master them for war. Make we join the leader of our war of independence, Dr. Ayaba. We hope say the people then for AC and they be already connect the leader. We hope say all things work fine. Make a check whether we hope say no all things that the work fine. No technical wahala no day. my fellow Amazonians, the people them for studio, they don't send small message say some small technical thing be there. They don't they fix them. So when I just hold on with we, when I give we una small patience, we just back our man, when I get for understand we dey for different parts of the globe. Sometimes these small thing them for connect one person, and me are there for Canada here, the leader there for that side for Norway, the people them for studio. Someone they did for other parts of the world, the other people they did for America, all we did for different place for connect, for make sure say all we work together as a team. So when I just bear with we, they would bring the leader in for the it already be for studio. Now just one small thing for make sure say all man to see, all man hear a voice. So when I just bear with we. As we talk for ACN, we also the Facebook for the ACN Facebook page. So I go to check all the people that they did it. I go to check the comments them. People them who will give time for people them where they feel called directly for this operation 10,000 AK bullets. They give their bullets directly as the leader go be for here. And then would you take question? People if he asked any question where they want to ask the leader any direct question we concern the stabilization plan, unity of the forces, the new action the way that it happened for ground zero, anything we relate with this we relate with the stabilization plan, unity of the forces, and the operation 10,000 AK bullets, the conversation about that one. All right. Some person they ask me say the things I not be pastor, pastor, Mr. Conda. I not be Mr. Kanda talk say he be pastor. I not be pastor. I be man for guns and bullet. say he be pastor. I want to make you. I want to make you think I be pastor. you see me addressed like pastor. Hey, these people then say I hope say he not be pastor. Mr. Kanda, I not be pastor. Oh, Mr. President, welcome, sir.
Thanks a lot, PS. Thanks a lot.
welcome, my fellow Amazonians. They don't connect. They don't connect the leader for a war of independence as I be introducing. Make a do small introduction again. Now the leader of a war of independence. This we all wanna know. Now the oga for we he believe not only for guns and bullet for show Cameroon's on and for kick La Republique du Cameroon out of our country. Now the man we tell all we say not only guns and bullet. If we put plenty guns them for ground, we build dance groups them for ground zero. Now the only thing that way La Republique it go here. Now the only noise, the sound where the international system you understand now. Anything else will be short of that. It go be a complete waste of time, just like the other people they don't try them since 1961. They fail. Today, we will get now the story, direct story. I will ask you very difficult question demo on our behalf because when we meet up the leader, we get for ask the question where the people it did for the people their heart. So me, like when our own voice, we represent all. When me, I represent the voice of the forces them for ground zero. I present the voice for all our people them as una spokesperson. Now me are for here for represent the people them. So today, on behalf of the people them, we go to talk with the leader. So the story for today, we'll start directly. I know say we know say pidgin, no be na we'll talk for pidgin and then we'll talk for Igbo English. So my fellow Amazonians, today we don't meet up with the real man, the real Oga for the war. So Mr. President and the leader of our War of Liberation, good evening for you. Welcome, Mr. The leader of our War of Liberation. Dr. Ebacho, welcome. This conversation will be an interaction. We want to hear from you directly, what you've been doing, what you've been working. You've had a remarkable breakthrough in the last 24 hours or so, the last 48 hours. Something dramatically, something extraordinary happened 2 days ago. There has been a remarkable breakthrough. Ambazonia since 2017 have been calling for unity among the forces on the ground. What have you done to achieve this remarkable breakthrough? Or what have the forces done to achieve this remarkable breakthrough? We've seen extraordinary unity, extraordinary collaboration in the great state of Akko. What did you do?
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me, and my best wishes to our people and to the team that is putting this together. I think there are three things, and the first one is time. Time is the magic that unravels every kind of deceit that people construct. I think with time, Amazonians and our forces have begun to realize that coordinating together, working together is critical, first for their own survival, for the defense of their own bloc, and for the ultimate liberation of our homeland. The second is, I mean, the strategy of arming the Amazonian Defense Forces. I think every other defense force on the ground has realized that my leadership has been focused on arming ground zero, because that's the principal tool that they need to stay alive and to bundle out La République du Cameroon. And lastly, the forces themselves. I think what has happened in FACO has been remarkable in terms of the tolerance, in terms of understanding, in terms of the necessity of collaboration in stopping the illegal Confederation Cup in our country. So these three aspects have been very critical in bringing the forces together. We have worked extremely very hard. And as I said, the Grandpa of Bali set the tone at the beginning of the year, something that we have when more than 19 assault rifles. What we had put together was getting close to 70,000 US dollars. And there are other things I cannot explain, which for purposes of security. But he had the choice also. He could simply act like the butchers of Bui did, and the masters out here will frame a story that will catch fire, will be propagated for years. And probably the lies might stick, but because of some other background things, knowing that Grandpa also met me in Dadi when I went in there, they were part of the team that received me in Dadi. It was critical for us to be able to be successful.
There seems to be an interruption. Are we okay? Mr. President, you're frozen. All right, welcome back, sir.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. My apologies. So, as I was saying, a combination of factors have brought our forces together, but we should not celebrate yet. The agents of chaos, both internal and external, are still at work. What we must do is to pray and walk a fine line going forward to make sure that even those who have constantly disagreed with us see this collaboration by our forces as a collective victory of the Amazonian people. I would ask everyone, especially you, the PS, the DDC, and all the great communicators, to see this as a victory for Amazonia, a victory even for those for whom collaboration is not their first currency. We've still got work to do. As we speak, our forces are in battle. A responsible people who send their men and women to battle, they work extremely very hard to make sure that they are equipped, that they succeed. If these forces succeed, they will see collaboration as synonymous to victory. If they fail because we act irresponsibly, that we take their strives and determination as our glory and not theirs, that we are quick at claiming responsibility for their strides and not giving it to them, they may not find any reason to work together. But if we work together hard in the background to make sure that they are supplied and that we give them praise and that we thank them and that all glory and thanks goes to them alone, they will find justification to persevere. But we must know that the struggle for liberation has many dark forces. It has spoilers, those for whom chaos is an advantage. We've just gotten started. We've still got work to do to stitch the forces together, to define their working parameters, and to make sure that we are able to treat them with respect for their humanity, their dignity, and for their sacrifices.
Well, we've also seen the same level of success, not only from what Grandpa did. Obviously, Grandpa in Bali set the tone for the year. That was such a gift coming in on probably New Year's Day. That was great. It created an atmosphere and it demonstrated a level of leadership we've never seen before, especially from a sister force. So that was great. What specifically, you may not want to say this, but probably just a little bit, what specifically did you do? What specifically your commander, Captain Small Picking of the FACO Brigade, what kind of instructions, what kind of advice, what kind of leadership education did you preach to him? Did you send out to him? Did you encourage him in terms of bringing all these other defense commanders together to see collaboration as necessary, as probably the most effective tool in order uh, to showcase the strength of the Amazonian people, to showcase the strength of our resistance, to show the strength of the leadership of the defense leadership block of FACO.
All commanders of the Amazonian Defense Forces have one education. It's based on the conceptual strategy that we put in place. The block by block strategy was coined as a network strategy, and the success in one block is dependent on the success in another block, and that you cannot succeed in isolation. And secondly, I have made it absolutely clear to all commanders, it works in your best interest to work with other forces. They can provide the support that you need. They can give you backup. They can provide you materials. And secondly, once you people work together, it becomes difficult for other forces to be instrumentalized. For example, if the commanders are working together and they know each other, it becomes difficult for an external actor to call another commander one day and begin to tell lies because they live the truth. They're experiencing the truth. There are a lot of things that are going on in the background, a lot of beautiful things that are so amazing that sometimes I'm scared because sometimes good things in this struggle don't really last. And so you don't want to rejoice and the next day you get up to anarchy. I am amazed by what is going on, extremely amazed. And this one is beyond strategy, is beyond knowledge. I just leave this to God. But I do the kind of work that leadership needs to do to make sure that we can gradually stitch them together. Grandpa of Bali, other forces, they are so interconnected. They are so interconnected to each other. They know each other very well, not only within Bali, across in Bui, in Donga, in Manyu, in Meme, all of the forces know each other. And when you sit amongst the forces, once positive news happens in point A, it goes like wildfire in the network, and everybody picks it up, and you see the joy. Once a brigade hits on La République du Cameroon, you need to get the feeling of victory in all of the forces, irrespective of which political leadership is in charge. And what I wanna say is this: we must change our message in 2021 and our tone and communicate in a way that every Amazonian, I mean, those who believe in the outcome of independence, see victory as collective. We will have the Amazonian Governing Council. No liberation struggle functions in a vacuum. There are movements with leadership constituted in a way that they derive authority through the constituted bodies. But these movements are instruments to deliver an outcome for the collective. And what we know, and that's for fact, that the Amazonian Governing Council is a stable organization with the qualities, stamina, foresight, and depth, to take this thing through. But it's going to do it with others. And so our communication must assure everyone, those who are limping, those who are weak, that we are in this together and that victory will be that for the Amazonian people. It might have been ushered in by the AGOVC, but it will be ushered in for everyone. That kind of messaging is going to help these forces to heal the wounds that have been deliberately created through messaging, carefully constructed, packaged, and delivered to divide. So, in reversing that trend, we must put the message in such a way that it becomes an antidote to the very kinds of messages that put our forces together. I am optimistic. What is required now is not talking about unity and collaboration, it already exists. Is to make sure that we can provide what is needed. I'm talking of bullets. Our forces are armed. I can attest to that. They are armed. They need bullets, enough bullets from every Amazonian. Once they have enough bullet, they will be cried out in big compound.
And one of the reasons we are having this conversation is to make sure that we have enough bullets. We've also gotten great news yesterday from Babanki. The forces in Babanki yesterday, they heard about what's happening in Fako. They all got excited about that news, as you've said. One good news in one block inspires another good news in another block. The forces in Babanki got yesterday and vowed that they must collaborate. They denounce any messaging of hatred and division within our struggle. And they even call out names of people that have instrumentalized them in the past, and now they have become aware of the intoxication. This power of what, let's give also credit to what ACN is doing. The forces are also listening. The forces are also watching. They are participating and being part of this change in our war of liberation. So let me ask you this question. 3 months ago, you came out, met with the Ambazonian people, and laid out a strategy called the stabilization plan. Over the last 3 months, through the Ambazonian people, their generosity, their belief in the ADF, their belief in your vision, your roadmap, and your strategy have contributed money, which your leadership has translated into 75 high caliber materials to the forces. How is the stabilization plan and unity on the ground? How does that fit in with the overall strategy to stabilize the ground and save the Amazonian people from the liberation to the transition period?
Uh, when I was coming in here, I received a picture from the Secretary General of the ADF, a picture of a machine gun, a very nice machine gun. I asked him how much, $6,000. And I was thinking, I know that my heart has 4 chambers. I was wondering if I could split the heart and sell it and get the machine gun for the forces. You see, La République is a very weak country, extremely very weak, confused. It's a confused country. You can measure weakness not only in terms of battlefield outcomes, but in terms of the communication strategy of Cameroon. Denialism, brutality, changing battlefield by massacring civilian population. And so when we developed the strategy for liberation, we took this into consideration, the weakness. They haven't got enough men to fight. That's why, if you notice, in the past days, they've moved from different places to reinforce other places. We are also following their communication inside. You could feel the uncertainty. You could feel the chaos. There is nobody in charge in Cameroon. When we had completely defeated Cameroon, they realized the only way for them to stay awake was to destabilize our war of independence. At the political level, we know of names of people who professed to speak for Amazonia, who now speak for the enemy. High-profile names. It has been the work of Cameroon in the background because they came to the conclusion that in the battlefield, they are incapable. Corruption is not also going to work because the Amazonian Governing Council is incorruptible politically and financially. And its steadfastness and focus made La République to blink. And one of its best instruments in destroying political opposition, which is money, could not work. So it increased its activities in terms of recruiting amongst our fighters and recruiting amongst vulnerable political individuals from RDA to create a sense of division. It used social media to infiltrate, intoxicate, and engineer a sense of chaos that confused Ambazonians because our level of nationalism is still not as strong. So sometimes people still think maybe rather than the chaos of Ambazonia, you will choose the brutality of Cameroon. So what La Republique was doing was to destabilize our war of independence. In that process, it demoralized the fighters. When you see the attack by forces on one another, La Republique simply used the messages from Ambazonians who saw division as a way for them to claim power. La Republique amplified that message and engineered those kinds of in-house fighting. It demoralized our fighters, destabilized our war of independence. We sat and thought of a countermeasure, and we realized that in terms of territorial control, we had not lost too much territory. Though Fako was weak, Meme was weak, Manyong was almost lost, we still had the capability to move from one state into another state and undertake operations. It was incapable for La Republique to make an incursion, operate, and then entrench. So we noticed that pattern and realized, okay, we could simply allow them to make an incursion and then allow them to walk out and we take over. But because of this destabilization, they have even turned some population in certain areas against our forces. So we had a lot of work to do. What they call nation building abilities in leadership stepped in. We increased the manpower in our forces to give them a sense of strength. And then we engineered a system of forces coming from different brigades to work together, to train together, to communicate together. We also work a system where we move materials from one brigade to the other. So we strengthen the interconnectiveness amongst our forces. That changed the landscape. And when Ambazonians, through their generosity, put in the finances, we poured in the weapon. Our forces became daring. They attacked the enemy. Remember, we talked about the armory, that we needed IEDs to impede Cameroon from entering into areas and causing massacre. We made huge investment in the development of the technology of IED because La Republique could not fight man to man. They were hunkered down in armor cars where they used it as protective shield. We introduced the machine gun as a countermeasure. We introduced the IED as a countermeasure. Little successes on the ground started giving commanders hope. The technology spread across the entire territory. Videos came out of success in point A. It engineered activities in point B. It revitalized the network. It translated into hope in the ordinary Ambazonian that, oh no, this thing is not chaotic. It can be won. It generated more finances. We scored more victories internationally. We stalled the masquerade in the Swiss process. We defeated it not by simply rejecting it, but by educating them how, negotiation processes take place. Our leadership, the cleverness with which we conducted our activities, provided assurances and insurance policy to the Ambazonian people that we can count on these people, that they understand what they are doing. It gave strength to our forces. These are so many things that we have worked together that has brought us to this level. We've just gone one step further. We've got a lot more to do.
So, what's the interconnection between your stabilization plan and uniting the forces on the ground?
Now, the stabilization plan is engineered to achieve a couple of objectives. As I said, when the forces realize the Ambazonian Defense Force is well armed, Number one, it acts as deterrence. Even when they are engineered to attack, the amount of arms in the forces deters the others. They see collaboration as essential for collective survival. Number two, one of the methods La République used to destabilize our war of liberation was engineering proxy forces that engage in kidnapping for ransom. That is, creating tension between our forces and our population, making our population to begin to rethink whether to rely on our forces or to rely on the enemy. To stabilize that situation, we have put in place a rapid reaction force, a mobile unit, well trained and well armed. The force will be presented to the Amazonian people very soon. The object of this force is to be able to provide backing to peripheral forces across different areas and to make sure that we can stamp out the toxic nature of kidnapping for ransom. And though 90% of the activities of proxy forces are being engineered by Cameroon, one of the things that has happened also is this. At the beginning, when many people embraced self-defense, there were many people who sat out here with a couple of hundreds of dollars, could rally guys on the ground, provide $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. And you hear they call them our boys. I have my group here. I have my group there. What then happened is their activities became unsustainable because it requires a massive organization. It requires political leadership. It requires consistency in messaging and clarity in planning to be able to mobilize resources from a domestic perspective to sustain the activities of a force. These little groups of persons have lost steam. They cannot sustain their activities which they use to create division also. Of course, they did their own part, but they use it as a method of accruing power, which also now has become extremely negative. These forces have now realized that their only way of survival also is to work together or establish more trained, more equipped forces. That creates stability within areas because they can work together in terms of backing each other. For example, in the attack in Bamenda City, forces came from across different areas, 7 Kata, the quick forms, and other forces within Bamenda to work together. Wow. This is the kind of stability that we are talking about. Once we stabilize the ground, it is going to change the perception of Amazonians about the possible outcome of our struggle. Don't forget, as I have said many times, 99% of Amazonians want independence. Less than 1% believe that is going to happen. Less than 1% truly believe in them. It's like Christianity. You believe there is God. You believe there is God. somewhere inside you're still doubting. But the 1% that believes it's going to happen is part of leader. All what it takes to gain freedom. Once leadership is convinced with the conviction and the planning, proper education, packaging, and messaging is going to change and bring the population together. We need Amazonians. Listen, I applaud you people for your sense of sacrifice, but we aren't doing it yet enough. We aren't doing it yet enough. Our commitment is conditional on our feelings. Our commitment is conditional on progress, on positive atmosphere. In the struggle for freedom, your commitment should have no conditionality. It's like child upbringing. You don't simply stop paying school fees because your child had bad exams. You recruit an external teacher. You change school and put them in a better school. That's what it takes to be free. So for us to stabilize ground zero and change the mindset of our people, project power enough to assure the international community that we have what it takes not only to liberate, but to create the institutions for political governance. That is when we will totally change the situation of our war of liberation.
Moving forward, Cameroon has organized the regional election. It's been unable to hold its regional assemblies in Amazonia as a way of showing the international system that it still has some form of legitimate control over Amazonia. As we speak, they are attempting to organize another PR stunt to host a tournament within the city of Victoria. Look at what Cameroon is doing, and you look at the current strategy that you have. Are these short-term Cameroon gains, or is this a way for Cameroon to blackmail the international system? What is Cameroon achieve, and what is the countermeasure? We know what the forces in FACO are doing. They've done extraordinary work in launching massive attack within across the state of FACO. They even brought down a huge Brazzaville truck that was being called by La République military. So, what are the countermeasures to this Cameroon PR, and how would this probably affect the Amazonian people negatively or positively?
Nothing really affects us negatively. This is a struggle for political legitimacy. Who has political legitimacy over the territory of Amazonia? Is it the Amazonian people or an alien, brutal foreign power? And not because we rose up in the defense of an independence declared, would La République simply say, I'm going to pack and leave. So they are going to continuously struggle to assure the international system that they have political legitimacy over our country. They do that in many ways, these elections. Because as I said before, the international system is structured in a way that the state has primacy in terms of activities within what is considered its own country. And anytime Cameroon makes a move, and the international community sits back and wait and see the outcome of that move. If you're organizing an election, the international community believes maybe there will be a change of heart in the Amazonian people, and maybe Cameroon is going to succeed, and then they're going to wash their hands off our case and allow Cameroon to determine its outcome. And we have always made sure that we did not only reject, but we sent a powerful message to the international system that we are not going to give mandate to a system that is going to use the mandate for political brutality, taking away of lives, and economic extortion. We have largely succeeded. We stopped every election in the last 4 years organized in our territory. In the last one, they brought in the custodians of our tradition in helicopters. They are unable to organize themselves within our territory. Huge embarrassment and humiliation. In normal circumstances, if you are a normal human being, you would pack out in disgrace. But the Cameroon,
Not Cameroon.
Cameroon, still a Cameroon. So, what they are trying to do in FACO is normal. The international community, not because we protested or because reputable research institute have classified this as a harrowing war that has been neglected, not because the Norwegian refugee organization has classified as the most neglected conflict with massive internal displacement and creation of refugees. would Cameroon simply say, well, you see, I agree with what you are saying, and then stay away? But this is the good news. In a struggle for political freedom, there are many battles. Yeah, a lot of battles. Battles against economic exploitation, battles for political legitimacy, battle for economic extortion, and battles like what we are seeing in Fako. And we should really applaud our men and women. Look, there are few wars I have studied where you find battles taking place in the capital. The capital is the last stand. Even the Eritrean war, it took a long time before you could see significant battle in Asmara. But that our guys are fighting in the middle of Boya. They are fighting along the highway of death, which is the Tiko Muselele axis. That they are fighting in Victoria, highly militarized, where you have enablers, you have spies from Cameroon, is an amazing feat of determination for which the Amazonian people should take pride. So we have worked extremely very hard to make sure that a COP organized by a foreign country does not take place in our own country. It's logic. We are a different country. Our independence was restored and affirmed, and we are simply defending ourselves and trying to expel the last Cameroon forces from our land. And I think so far our forces have done well. We have already scored significant victory. We can claim now that our activities within FACO in the past few days has achieved a couple of things. One, the notion that FACO was dead, that people there are not respecting the liberation order of ghosted cities on Monday, and the kind of sense of, well, FACO can simply just do what it wants to do. People can just go about their activities in Victoria while others are battling, has been eliminated. Number two, it has also showed us and the enemy that our forces can operate behind enemy lines anywhere, anytime in Amazonia. It has emboldened our forces, and we should exploit these abilities by arming them more, giving them what it takes to continue this assault even after the illegal tournament.
Now, let's go to the main thing that brought us here, your stabilization force. This new force you're about to launch, as I've described to the Amazonian people, is going to be a game changer in our war of liberation. It's unlike anything we've ever seen before. They are fresh, well trained. They have a professional military outfit. They have boots. They have, I heard you said they have green and red beret. There are some that have the green beret. There are some that have the red beret. You call them the baddest of all the bad forces in Amazonia. Going to be the elite of the elite within the Amazonia Defense Forces. Give our people just a sneak peek of what that force is like, how they are equipped, how they are trained, and how this is going to change the trajectory of the lead of defense of the defense leadership on the ground, and projecting Ambazonian confidence and strengthening the spirit of the resistance on the ground.
Well, I'll leave that to the War Council to go into details, and I'll leave that when the force is launched. The Amazonian people will see the force. The elite force is called Akamanto, and it
That's
is.
even the name by itself is very scary.
Yeah. Now, if you want to create a country, you need an army, and an army is not simply in their activities. It's also in how you project that army, and the kind of knowledge, the kind of information you provide to them about their mandate, what they should be doing. Amazonian people need assurances. They need constantly to be reminded that this is possible. They need constantly to see the baby steps we are making. to erect in institutions that give us a sense of statehood. And apart from the force, we've worked extremely very hard, extremely very hard. And I know that sometimes we see the struggle for liberation as you get up every day, you check what's up, you check Facebook. No, it's hard work on a daily basis, sleepless nights, conceiving strategies. The stabilization force is wonderful. I addressed them the other day during training, and I was amazed. I shed a tear. I saw
Wow.
men and women. There are ladies in there. You see them strapped with their AK-47 across their chest, and I was like, these are people's children who've left their homes and assembled somewhere in the jungle, having training to defend a land they might not even live to see realize. And yet, you could see the determination in their activities. You could see the endurance, going for days without food, just to make sure that they can provide to the next generation what our forebears never gave to them. And so it was amazing to watch them. And secondly, remember when I went into Dadi, you saw the forces that received me, they were already in uniform. We are trying to take back our country. We will need the institutions, the army, the police, that is going to do the policing and the defense of our territorial space. And we need to begin building the prototype systems at this particular moment and giving our forces a sense of responsibility for the general good of our population. The next thing we need to know is it is not only the stabilization force. We are having transitional institutions, because one of the biggest problems we have faced in our war are the artificial divisions created by the enemy, both internal and external. So we need the forces to work with our communities in terms of community justice, in terms of community education, in terms of community development, and other activities within communities that assures our people that, yes, this is a force erected and educated to protect their interests. Thirdly, the stabilization force, as I said before, is a projection of Amazonian identity, because the forces embodies, our anthem, our flag, and our nation, our territorial space. What the international community also wants to see is a force that can provide order, that can occupy the ungovernable spaces created by the defeat of La République du Cameroon, and that can create a sense of certainty and normalcy within communities. So all of these things are being packaged to make sure that issues of defense and issues of recognition are taken care of.
And what is required at this stage between now and when the force is launched, maybe in a week, whenever the general has completed what he needs to do in order to successfully launch that force? What do you need from the Amazonian people? What do you want the Amazonian people to help your leadership with? What do you want the Amazonian people to commit to the resistance with? What is required at this stage?
The first thing I like to let the Amazonian people understand is that at the beginning of our liberation struggle, I asked our people to become the primary investors in their own struggle, as to be the principal stakeholders in its outcome. And that has largely been the case. The reason why we are still at this stage is because, the investment that Amazonians make does not meet the demand. Our forces need constant supplies. I launched the stabilization asking Amazonians to put in about 500,000 US dollars to be able to equip this force to provide the internal stability and the projection of external power that should give the international community a new dimension about our struggle and a sense of calm in the mindset of the Amazonian people. Amazonians, please, you still need to commit to this stabilization. At this particular moment, I think we've made a lot of progress in terms of arming our forces. We still require heavy machine guns across the entire territory because, as I said before, we have thrown them into armor cars and bunkers. We need to take out those armor cars and bunkers. But what is of importance at this stage are bullets. I cannot emphasize that more. I can assure Amazonians, if we are able to supply these men with enough bullets, La Republique is not a force. I've watched them in action and I know their capability. After all, the land is theirs. They know every nook and cranny. The occupier is foreign, even in their language, in their sense of brutality, in their instability. We need to destabilize their forces on the ground. We need to throw the last remnants of their enablers in armor cars or in choppers and let them be flown out of our territory. If every Amazonian out watching me is able to commit even to 10 bullets, we are going to have enough bullets to sustain daily fighting for the next 2 months. 2 months sustained fighting, Cameroon is going to collapse. It's going to collapse. Now, I know you don't get it the way I get it. I know it's like going around a circle, but I always remind every Amazonian to look at this as a journey. We've been constantly on the move. We've been making progress. You've been seeing the outcome in terms of the way that our forces are acting. From the attack in Chualam, from Grandpa in Bali, taking on the forces, from into Fako, in Meme, in Manyo, in Momo, in Libialem. We were able to hit in Tinto. There are daily battles, and what the forces are asking on a daily basis, give us bullets. A bullet is $1.80. Each person can buy 10. Think about it. You are going to be hearing the music on a daily basis, and it's going to be bad music for La Republique.
All right, my fellow Amazonians, una don't hear what una born here today. Una don't hear the real story where una born here. Una had over sweet today. The only thing with the forces they need them. The only thing with General F and need them now. In not tell una say now so for this January, the last 2 weeks we remember for January. General S and General say he get enough guns. Una give he and the boys. Una give the soldier them enough bullets. May they teach Paul Biya a lesson. May they teach Akanganji a lesson. May they teach Betty Asomo, the Cameroon Colonial Minister of Defense, a lesson. Make they dismantle the Cameroon, their gendarme station, their police station, their army camp, their B camp. General F and say, una give them enough bullets, they go should give una with one time. So the leader don't already talk his own way, but one talking for all way. Now the time where the leader don't come do his own work for the people then for television today. For sweet heart, give you the confidence and the clarity we need them. Now it don't talk bullets. I go open the report ACN. When I put my phone number for up, make people the call. All right. Some person talks say Prosperity J. He talks say he want give 50 bullets. Prosperity J talks he want give 50 bullets. I beg when I follow up with Prosperity J, the people that did for comment section. When I get Prosperity J in number, he talks he want give 50 bullets every single month. And they see Mami for our forces. He did for comment section too. We salute you, Mami Wally. Yes, Mama for all the forces them. So the lines will be open. When I put my number, make people they start to call. So before we get a small closing word before the leader leave, and then me I go continue for take all the calls them. And then Amber Ranch Resort, it talks say it need PayPal. Amber Ranch Resort, send me a WhatsApp number for WhatsApp, and we will send you PayPal for WhatsApp. If Mr. President did it, the leader for
one thing I like to let Ambazonians understand is this. You see, when you look at the people in Cameroon, because sometimes we always sit and we are like, is this thing gonna succeed? Yeah, you have a right to ask that question. But I want you to look at it this way. And I've said this repeatedly, and I said it with all due respect to Cameroonians. I would prefer Chad or North Korea to occupy Amazonia than the Bulu Republic. I can assure you people, this is, and this, we should take this seriously. If you look at our country, we are out here in Europe. When the Nazis attacked Norway, they put in place a government, and the Norwegian Parliament is the institution that elects the prime minister. The Parliament could not meet, so they moved into one other city. It's called Elverum. They went into that city, and the Germans were still pursuing. They transferred power to the king, Håkon VII. He could not stay in Norway. He had to escape to England. From England, he conducted the resistance within Norway against Germany. I want to tell you why I'm bringing this story. Do you know World War II? Germany was a superior power. Norway was like, a small village somewhere. Germany was a superior power, well equipped. It was a well-developed country. Germany, sorry, was a well-developed country. The Norwegians resisted the Germans. Underground resistance. There was a Norwegian mountaineer who climbed in one of the highest peaks in Norway to help the resistance fighters in the valleys to spot the Germans. I want to tell you the caliber of people who joined the resistance against a country that they could simply surrender to, be taken over, and even be developed. They fought to maintain their identity. Look at Amazonia. Look at our roads. Look at the economic decadence, the level of uncertainty, hopelessness. And then listen to the occupier. Listen to their arrogance. Listen to the Francophones talk about us in our country as though we were disposables, as though we were rebellious slaves that, are asking too much. If you want to know where my energy comes from, it is from seeing the way these people act towards us. Ambazonians, this thing is not only fighting for a land, it's fighting for dignity. The first thing they took away from us was our dignity to be considered. They took away our humanity. We were les anglophones. They gave us adjectives, descriptive terms. Les anglophones, they bundled us together as though we were some homogeneous lot. Les anglophones, les Biafran, they were so sure they had subdued us. Why not? Every one of us crossed to their side, bribed them to enter ENS, bribe them to enter Enam. You felt powerful speaking their language. You were waiting for 11 February. You were waiting for 20th May. Their revised history had become part of their DNA. They sat and watched over you and laughed. That's why when you rose up, they used our own, their Tanganjis, and described you like a pig. They drew a line on the sand and asked Mr. Weber to cross. Look, I don't know where we will be. Maybe we will be dead. But listen, for every one Ambazonian who is going to leave, remember the pain that so many millions of our people have gone through. Even pain in exile. I've been in exile for 22 years. It is so painful. So painful living in a place where your body is here, your soul is wandering like a nomad. And to watch the people who took over your country and scattered the flock treat you with so much contempt, no apologies for murdering children, racing down entire villages. They have no apologies. My people, this is not a fight for independence. It is a fight for our collective sanctity, a fight for our collective survival, for our dignity as a people. Men and women who have claim to ownership of the Amazonian territory to be able to face the next generation like men and women with backbone. Don't bother yourself about the arrogance they perpetuate. I hear Tanganji say they have won the war. I was glad to read one person told him, if you know you've won the war, go on Commercial Avenue on your own. We will use your liver for pepper soup. Look, the evacuation will be more than what happened in Saigon when the United States was dropping helicopters in the sea to escape. They will forget that their border at the east stops with Central Africa. They will escape to Bangui. That is the rugged determination we must have. We will have palaver amongst us. You may not like me. You don't need to. As long as we are all moving to the same place, we must tolerate our differences and take these bastards out of our country. No, they don't need to be in our land. This is a revulsion you must have in your stomach. Our civilian population must join the fight. It is not something for the Amazonian Defense Forces, the Quifons, the Red Dragons, or others. It is an 8 million army that should fight these people. In our quarters, they enter all the forces. They don't own us. We owe them nothing. It is our land. It will not be shared. Now, let me say this. Somebody asks, what is the compromise we are ready to make? Listen, dignity, they took. Humanity, they took. They occupied the land, drove us. Life, they took. What else is left that you want to compromise? There will be no compromise with Cameroon. No compromise on anything. They must get the hell out of our country. That is the spirit for anyone who will stand, who will live. You must know that you have compromised with your life. Your land has been taken, your dignity taken, everything. They've abused us, treated us with contempt. Even Mr. Weber. Mr. Weber is in exile. Think of it. They say they are killing our people because we are fighting. No. They have been killing us for 60 years. It is not because we speak. It's not because we fight. It's because they have no respect for us. We are a liability. We are a waste to them. But we must tell ourselves, damn it, it is the place of our birth. There will be no compromise.
Thank you very
Somebody,
much,
I need to
sir. Thank you very
charge.
much for such passion. So, my fellow Amazonians, we want to thank the leader for our war of liberation with the kind heart we eager time for our people then. With the kind spirit, with the kind love we get them for the 8 million Ambazonian. If vexation we carry on for a heart, now because of the suffer where every single Ambazonian it don't go through. The anger we carry on against Cameroon, now because of what you are beginning to go through. Now because of what you are mammy that go through. Now that anger, it make it be so focused for say we must end Cameroon occupation. It don't summarize them, it finish. The lines will be open. Now my WhatsApp line, now the WhatsApp line be very open right now. Make any person we want reclaim its dignity as an Ambazonian. Today, now for reclaim the dignity of the Ambazonian people, them call. You talk about how many bullets you want gear. I get pen, I get paper, I the watch, I the see. Any person we as an Ambazonian where you want reclaim your dignity as an Ambazonian, the line will be open for any person for call. Make we take this call from Mamba Coin. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. And I want to thank you so much, Pierce. And I also want to extend my gratitude as well to the CIC and also thank him for his call this morning and for the presentation to our people. If you permit, I would equally like to make a quick statement without taking so much of CIC's time. I wanted to speak a little bit about our forces gradually coming together. I know there was a question that was spoken about that this morning. Our people have generally been ready, and unfortunately, the 60 years of brainwashing, they tended to believe in a government taking us to the promised land, but they failed to see what the true leadership of our war of independence was. So what they've been gradually seeing is a leadership of the AGOFC and its institutions like the ADF gradually doing the work that was necessary. Some of this work is very detailed, very tedious, but it's something that must be done. They've seen the way that the ADF has clothed its fighting forces, the way that they treat their forces even when they lose them, their humanitarian efforts, even to the family of the defense forces. They've opened hospitals, institutions like the Board of Education, the ACN, and so on and so forth. The way that our people have seen what the Bui 23 were carrying, the way that what they saw, when the incident with Grandpa happened, and they've seen how we've trained forces, the elite forces that the ADF put together, the Akamatus, and all of that, mobile wing, all of that is slowly came together to tell our people that the ADF has been doing the tedious and long road to freedom and all the work that has to be done. And all of this has gradually then culminated to these kids that communicate with each other, the defense forces, and they knew that in order for them being ready, in order for them to be successful, they had to align themselves with the winning team. So what I will be calling on our people today to do is that I don't expect the ADF to go out of its way to do what a lot of people have accused them of trying to buy forces. By them doing the right thing for all these years, the forces will now be coming or aligning themselves with the ADF, and everyone else will gradually be aligning itself with the AGOFC. So I'm calling on our people to help the ADF to get ready for this journey, to get ready for the amount of resources that it's going to need in order for the ADF to continue or the AGOC to continue to do what it needs to do to move this struggle forward and to move our people to the promised land. So what I'm in effect saying is that for that to happen, we have to contribute to help the AGOC and the ADF succeed in this mission. So I would like to pledge with all of that 250 bullets. That would be about $500. Thank you, and have a wonderful day. And my regards to CIC. Thanks for the work that you do.
Thank you very much. Ambazonians, when I see now the best way this for start this show. Now chairman that for cryptocurrency where they call and say Amber coin. Now in that it don't come bless the forces them and for reclaim the dignity of the Ambazonian people them with 250 bullets. It don't give $500. We get a lot of calls where they come in when the chairman be the talk. We get a call from England from Dr. Ayong. Maybe we take this call from the UK.
Yeah, come
Yeah, Comrade Ayong. Good evening for that side for Boris Johnson in the country.
yeah. Good evening. How are you doing? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, bro. We did live with the president. I should say, now the follow up. Waiting be the good news. I know when you call it always good news.
Well, the good news I say I just finished for some small meeting with Capo and with a few commanders of AM, a very brief one. So, guess what? A small group for UK. Yeah, we'll CIC know the group very well. So we do one or two things, and so Capo be reach out to them, need small thing for fried popcorn. So we say okay. I talk with them. They give small change. So I just call them and say okay, that one. So my people, one of my comrades, Jojo, he go contact you. I think he gets your finance department, community involved with that kind of business. So you go contact una for trade small change for them. Apart from that one, which I want to say, I'd be very very happy for yes say I don't lead collaboration work ground to make another beginning to work together to the point where I don't see how they denounce these canker worms and way their own work now go tell them they go wipe out other forces them. So, in fact, the thing that excites me the most because the thing I don't look for a very long time, so which they will come to that point where if we educate that became a way, they know say, okay, now so the real forces on the ground and this ATF and the real forces them that don't allow the Republic. The one that they tell to go kill them because the Republic, and that one the real Republic put them. So our boys they don't understand that one. I go help we now to really go forward because if we not get them to work together, we not kick out this for them. Because we would fight, we would move 10 steps forward, 5 steps backward, 10 steps forward, 9 steps backward. And at the same time, it could be even much more difficult. So I want to really thank Una for the work Una do. I want to thank CIC for the leadership where you don't show, for lead a big organization like that, get everybody for work in sync. You hardly hear say any scandal don't come up where people don't embezzle money like the other one them. Where they go buy crap, they chop that crap for nightclub them. So you guys just carry on. As now they carry on, we're going to try to push more smoke back. How that go talk.
All right. Thank you very much. And we thank you for the work we're going to do and for that side for UK. We thank you plenty. We don't miss. We get a lot of messages where they call.
Leave and allow you continue.
If you can stay for maybe 10 more minutes, I think also people probably just also want to say hello to you. So just stay for about 10 more minutes. Man Najela, we've missed a lot of calls. Let me call Comrade Abeng from Norway.
Denmark, I think.
Denmark. Hello?
Yeah, good evening, comrade.
Yeah, good evening, comrade.
I'm very grateful. Let me just first of all start. After the show, I will contribute 100 dirham. And I want to thank the CIC for the great knowledge we don't jam out. I believe the way I don't understand plenty Ambazonian, they don't understand the same way I don't understand. I now want to ask CIC one question. now which strategy he don't put in place for CC, he meet up with all other forces where they dey for that small village them. Because I know say some forces and they for some small village then we don't even know. So I want to ask CIC whether now which strategy we don't put them, now which people we don't set them, say may they reach out for this interior of them, for that small village then.
Okay.
Because maybe like my own place, I don't know whether if first get idea, all those things.
All right,
if
my brother, I beg, just make them very short. Just ask the question so that we get very limited time. We there enough for raise money for the forces. Not be so much or take question, but it go answer your. It go take 1 minute for just give you a quick question. I beg.
Okay, so now only the question that, and I want just talk say make our forces them they understand the reason why we did fight, because they fight now because their vote they never ever count their vote for over 60 years.
All right,
so
leave us I beg,
for a
my brother, I
government
beg,
for
just
the talk say this
brother,
one I'm a president, that one I'm a president, where you never
comrade,
vote for them.
comrade,
That is
comrade.
it not it makes sense.
Comrade.
So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mr.
Yes,
President. I beg, go ahead. My brother, I beg, not be say I want cut you short. Now because you not get time, and we want maximize the time. A lot of calls that they come in, so I beg, not vex with me.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Thanks a lot. Let me assure you that there are 2 men.
National Council.
There are 2.5 men. 2.5
men. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. How are you, PS?
Chairman, I'm having a great day here with the
yes.
with the warrior, the chief warrior. We're having a great time on this year.
The number one warrior. I can see that. And you know, every time he comes and talks, he sucks away all the energy in the house, and it keeps us speechless. But I cannot allow my boss to come on air like that to raise phone and I do not support him. So I'm here to pledge my support for 250 bullets, $500 Canadian. Okay.
Wow. Wow.
Thanks, bro. Thank you, Chairman. Thanks a lot, Chair. With respect to the comrade who asked the question, we have the DDC, Capo Daniel. We have the Secretary General is the master of every nook and cranny of the Amazonian territory. Secretary General Fuller. They know every village, every place. You have the OGC, you have even the PS here, you have now the incoming assistant DDC, Comrade Horace, and there is an armada of people who have a map of every village, and the forces are reaching out. But the best thing that can happen is that when they reach out, please, if we have something to give them, because the first thing we start with food, we start with bullets, they can use what they have before we start giving them. So the terrain is mastered. I pray to God that all of us will encourage this trend and moderate our tone and let them come together. And it is probably going to bring the political forces together so we can complete this journey.
All right, I have good news, sir. There's a comrade in Germany. There's a comrade in Germany who has just offered 500 euros for bullets. Let me take this call. Good evening, Mr. Somerset from call from Dubai. Good evening. The people then for Dubai, when I call, they need to come through. Maybe we'll take the call from Denmark, from Comrade Abeng.
Hello?
Yeah, Comrade Abeng.
Yeah, good afternoon, PS, and also the Commander-in-Chief.
Good afternoon.
I followed the conversation and the speech you gave and the directives. But my question is going to be straightforward. I wish to find out, because we also have academics, we also have people who want to support for humanitarian basis as well. And so I want to ask, apart from the bullets, what we want? Some people want to put more money in diplomacy. So I don't know how you can address that problem or the solution which we can come up with, because what we're seeing is that when it comes to mobilization of funds, there are a lot of people who prefer to support diplomatic means, humanitarian means, than for bullets. So I don't know what your office is doing concerning that. Thank you.
Thanks, comrade. Thanks a lot. There is no money needed for diplomacy. That's the first thing. We don't need money for diplomacy. We need money for humanitarian activities. I said in my New Year message, my focus in this year will be also the welfare of the fighters. Let's take note. Men and women have been in the bushes for years. And we are always talking about arming them, giving them bullets, and sometimes we forget that they need food, they need clothing, they need. The Secretary General talked of a story yesterday that brought me almost to tears. When he met General Ivo, of everything he had, a wristwatch, a phone, he just needed but a deodorant. When he met another soldier, General Agaba asked for a towel. He had two towels, a big one and a small one. He asked for the towel. Just something for hygiene. And the other day, we provided them with dresses. And you could see the soldiers in the barracks dancing because the change, the war dresses. We provided them with food. And so I would appeal and that we continuously inject funding for humanitarian aspect, also for the forces, and of course for our IDPs and for our refugees. There are different groups that have the expertise in dealing with refugees. And so any funds that come to us, we will direct the funds to the expertise setups that are dealing with refugees. So whatever people have to contribute, this appeal for funding is holistic. There are people who want to contribute for food for IDPs, for soldiers, for treatment. We had a bill of 3.3 million amber for the treatment of soldiers. And there is a huge cost associated with liberation. There are so many aspects that we deal with. So sometimes we cannot even come to the population and ask for funding for some micro projects, but there are huge costs associated with liberation. Taking care of kids of dead soldiers, wives of dead soldiers. So many of them are dead. And that sense of humanity towards those that have been left behind is a sign of comfort for families. So I appeal to you, for academics who want to support, they should be able to support in terms of ideas too. I know I spoke to academics in Denmark the other time, and we had a fine conversation. And I'm looking forward to whatever support they can offer.
Let's take a call from Man Ajale from the United States.
Hello.
Yes, Mami Najale, good afternoon.
Hello, congratulations.
Yes, ma.
Hello.
Yes, Mami.
Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you, Dr. Ayaba. Thank him very much, Dr. Ayaba. Thank you very much for all what you've done and what you are still doing. And I was so touched with all what he said today. Lord Jesus Christ, that's a man. He is a man that has been sent to us to liberate us. Please Everybody online should donate at least $10 if we don't have money. Just give $10. $10. Please, I'm begging. I'm just begging. Please, give $10 online as you're online like this. Dr. Ayaba, thank you very much. And for that, I'm going to give $50. Papa, I'm going to send it to Mama Wali.
Okay, ma. Thank you very much, ma.
My own donation for the arms, Papa. Thank you all very much. Thank Dr. Ayaba. God bless you all for all what you're doing. Yes. Thank you. My heart goes. It goes with you all. Thank you. I love you all.
Thank you, ma.
We're going to get our country. Yes.
We love you back, ma. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Mr. President, the chairman for Canada Mission, Comrade Collins, has sent $200.
God bless.
We've missed a call from South Africa, from the mission in South Africa.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Chairman.
Good afternoon, PS.
Oh, sorry. Good evening. Good evening for you. Not evening time for South Africa.
Yes, I want to thank you for the work well done.
With the life, with the leader.
Yes, and at the time we leader for the way we put the presentation. They say revelation is not work in the park. Not only few of we feel listening, but I believe say this 2021 a year with the difference. There is say the place there for your back. So for that good presentation, I will support our $100.
Okay. Thank you very much, Chairman.
Yes, I'll jump for my treasurer.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. The lines will be open. We've got a few more minutes. The leader go ghost more time. We've got a few more minutes for any person we want call now since he there. Maybe you want give your gift directly for you, for tell it thank you, and for tell you share for the work we did do and for all we did do and collectively for all Ambazonians across the globe, and also especially for our fighter, for our forces them, and all our people them for Ground Zero. So the lines will be open for all man for call. All right, we'll try one more time for this person for Dubai, Mr. Somerset.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Somerset.
Yes, sir. I'm happy to see CIC on live. Hello, sir.
We can hear you.
So, sir, we'll be sorry for the inconvenience. We will get some small shake for you, but we pray God by the end of this week we'll send our own money for stabilization fund. And me in person, I will place again another 50 dirham on my monthly contribution. So this month, I will double my own contribution. So we beg by the end of this week, we'll visit now with our own fund.
All right.
Thanks very much. And I like the joint force, so make unity for ground. That is a big victory. Yeah, no, I take your time. Thanks very much.
Thanks very much. We could take this call from my sister from South Korea, Sister Pamela. Good evening, Mommy.
Hey. Kudos to all of you. Kudos to our highest honor, our CIC, the Lion. I am so proud. And I want to just say something quickly that the Lord has spoken, He has chosen. When the Israelites were struggling to leave Egypt, I think they tried so many times. And when it was time, God chose this person, one person to do the leading, and the story is history. Our Ambazonia story is now in the history. We have seen the clear leader that God has chosen. Our freedom is real. Finally, I'll be supporting this presentation with the $50.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I'm still in the U.S. I still don't have a job, but I'm willing to always stand by my CIC. He deserves all our glory and praises, and we are behind him.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, CIC. Thank you, BS. God bless you all. Bye.
Bye. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Maybe we'll take this call from Baltimore. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, ma. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. P.S.
Yes, ma.
This is Grandma right here.
Grandma, they call all the way from Baltimore.
No, from Victoria.
Oh, now Grandma from Victoria, they call today. Grandma
from Victoria. CIC, happy for see you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Grandma Sally.
Happy. I get this my sister, my Victoria sister, my Angela. She said it all, and we will continue to say it. And I'm glad say you, PS, you did educate us a lot. So I will support my Angela with $50.
Wow.
Adam plus I owe $50 on behalf of CIC. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, man. Angela.
Grandma Sally, that's Grandma Sally.
Hello?
I don't be confused now between you and Grandma Sally. Let me follow up with someone who's requesting information. All right, the lines are they open. The leader go to leave now. It don't be very late for your own time, and you get another meeting we get for attend and before evening don't finish. I want also announce our sister for that side for France. It don't send 100. It already make 100. It don't send $100. Hello, comrade. Hello. Yeah, comrade. Would hear you? Would they live with? Would they live with the leader?
Yeah. I send my greetings to CIC.
It hear you.
CIC. Would they for CIC back?
It hear you fine.
Would they for CIC back? I go from Dubai. All right. Yeah. So by tomorrow, I will support with 50%.
All right. Thank you very much, comrade.
Yeah. So I will call you tomorrow. I will support with 50 dirham.
All right, comrade. Thank you very much.
Now, I need. Yeah.
All right. I will reach out to you, give you details.
Okay.
All right. I want also.
CIC for me once more.
All right. Thank you. You fine. I want also announce one of our mommy for it always take care of the forces. Ma Irene, one of our mommy them for that side for America. We want also salute for all the work that they do on behalf of all the Ambazonian children them and the humanitarian work where they do with their family. We want to thank them plenty. For the work that they do for all way. Comrade, our sister for France, thank you very much for the $100 we don't send them. And we want also announce our brother for America, Comrade Leo. You don't send $100. One, thank you very much. The president will take one more call before he leave. If any person still there, he will just take one more call and then he will probably give us a closing statement before he leave. If no call, no day, Mr. President, because of your time, make sure so you get your time for other things, and then I'll continue. Maybe you give me a closing remark, your closing statement while I continue. Forget the conversation online here.
Thanks a lot. Yes, thanks to all our comrades, mothers, brothers who have called. Thanks to all of you watching. And thanks to our people on ground zero who are going through the pain of the occupation. The future is bright, I can assure you. Never forget, not Cameroon. Let North Korea come and occupy us, not Cameroon. Whatever it will take, how long it will take, we must terminate this illegal, alien, corrupt, punitive rule in our country. It's a battle of this century to kick Cameroon out. No matter where they hide, no matter who is propagating what, those who enable them, those who have infiltrated our land, will forfeit their right, any property they own in our country. In this time of pain across our country, we must remain united. I thank our forces. I thank you from the depth of my heart. And I pray to God Almighty to be the one to crown the efforts that you people are making now to work together. You aren't working for me, you are working for your country. And you can count on my leadership, that leadership that is there to serve, that is there to serve, to create the enabling environment, to give hope to Ambazonians. That is the responsibility of this generation, to create the enabling environment within which the next generation is going to live a self-fulfilling life. It's going to be rough. I don't want to lie you. It'll be very dark days, but it's going to be okay. Amazonia is free. God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ayaba. My fellow Ambazonians, want to take the time for thank the leader for our war of independence plenty for say he take this time for can join we, make we get this conversation and make it help we understand place where they, which we need for do, for move for place we need for go. We want to thank all the people that don't call in and they don't send their money for redeem and reclaim Ambazonian people their dignity with bullets. And so we want to thank all man. The lines will be open still there for here. For work on behalf of the forces, for work on behalf of for the leader office, and for work on behalf of the Ambazonian people them, for collect all the money for the bullets them. So I still there for here. Any person we want call for make if you want to do them publicly, call me, announce what you want give. All right. I also want to announce we don't get $39. We don't come in from our brother for that side for Denmark. Thank you very much, brother. I don't see him. Okay. Some person they try for call from ground zero. We could call this brother back from the great country of Belgium.
Yeah, boss.
Yes, good evening, comrade.
Good evening, boss.
How for you?
Hey, boss.
I know say when you call soon, always good news.
No, boss. I just want to say thank you, boss. Thank you so much for the relentless effort you are putting for your people and your nation. No one can pay you for this job you are doing, PS. It is only when we get our freedom, that's when your honor will come. Your honor will come at the end of the day when we reach Boya. Even now, we honor you, we respect you for all what you are doing. We also thank the CIC. He has been a wonderful leader. A leader is somebody who listens to the people. A leader is somebody who tries to build other leaders, you know. A true leader is somebody who builds other leaders to take over in case he's not around. You know, the CIC has all those qualities, but we pray he will live long to liberate our nation from the hands of the colonial occupier. He has, whenever CIC comes out, it is always enlightening. When you are weak, you feel stronger. When you listen to the CIC talk, when you are weak, you feel stronger. When you are weary, you have more energy to keep pushing ahead. On that note, PS, tomorrow I'll be sending $50 to your PayPal. Please send me your PayPal now. So
okay.
Tomorrow I will send you $50 for support this particular outing for CIC today.
All right.
Thank you so much, PS.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, PS.
We also just the ESA for that side for La République du Cameroon. We ESA for their stadium for Douala. We ESA as the football match, the one start for that side. With the ESA light don't go off. That's what the year. This one I just knew so they come off for that side for La République du Cameroon. They say the light it don't go off 10 minutes before the ball is supposed to start. That's what the year say they don't scatter light them for that side for Cameroon. And we ESA now better don't they cry. That one a foreign news. It be just been a foreign news. Okay, I will check Facebook too for people the way they make comment. Bullets, you want gear? I get pen, I get paper, I the watch, I the see. Any person. We'll take a few more calls. I get 5 more minutes and then we'll wrap up.
Power off.
Any person All right, my fellow Ambazonians. When I don't hear the message today, we'll get enough, the forces will get enough weapons and right now, what do they need for these last 2 weeks of January? They need enough bullet as the leader don't talk on. We need for reclaim the dignity of the Ambazonian people then. As the leader don't talk on. We need for regain the life of the Ambazonian people then. We need for regain, for take back the humanity of the Ambazonian people then. This was war of independence, of liberation. Not just because we want a country, not because we want life, we get dignity. Not because we want life, we get hope. Now because we want life, we get opportunity. Now because we want life for our own country, we will build a system where it reflect, we will be a system where we give our people them just happiness. A life where we give our people them their God-given rights, where they use their sense and their hard work for build the kind of life where themselves they deserve for themselves, for their families, for their community, and for our country. Now they think this will they fight for. So for on behalf of all our forces them, especially our defense forces them, where they don't come together for the great state of Fako, one thank una plenty. Say una don't honor the call of liberation for come together, for work together, for fight together, for achieve witty Ambazonian people they rise up for. We also want to thank all the forces them for Babanki. One thank when I say when I don't come together, when I don't reject division, when I don't reject anything with the tell when I say when I not unite. When I don't reject anything with the tell when I say when I not come together for fight. One thank when I say the wisdom and the love we wanna get them from Ambazonia, we wanna don't carry them for our heart. When I don't prove them. The 1st of January, the news come out for Bali. Grandpa of Bali. He put out a wonderful message. Grandpa for Bali. You see today, the words that we talking for January 1st, now them this, they grow all over Ambazonia. They spread for Fako, they spread for Babanki. Grandpa, since we God give you, make you talk those things for January 1 for this 2021. It means say this 2021, a year of magic for Ambazonian people then. So one thank una all for this spirit. We call on all the forces them across the 13 states. Una come together, una work together. The leadership of Governing Council of Ambazonia, now leadership for all Ambazonia them. Now they lead the war effort for our people then. Now they lead the fighting, mobilize for our forces then. We go mobilize for all the blocks where they come together. We go mobilize for all the blocks where they come together for work together for liberate Ambazonia. We go mobilize for them. We go support them. We go be there for them. We will be there for project them. ACN, now for project all the forces where they come together, work together, fight together for liberate our people them from the pain and suffering and hopelessness where Cameroon, they don't put them over Ambazonia since 1961. Grandpa don't lead by example. Commander Captain Small Picking for the great state of Fako, he don't lead by example. General Sagat with the Saluduna, the people them for the black hat with the Saluduna for I think that for Bali Kumbat. We salute all now. The forces the way the day we don't hear say the forces the way where they remain for Sokadef, then too they don't come together. We salute all now. We hear say some AMF forces them for Fako, all them wanna come together. For all on behalf of the Ambazonian people them, we want to tell and say thank you. Thank you now. We thank you now plenty. Now the spirit this, as the leader talk, when I come together, when I fight together, we go mobilize and support all the forces them. So I still there, I get 5 more minutes for take any call where they come in. Any person where you want make you want send your money for your bullets, send me message for Facebook, send me message for WhatsApp. I go respond to you immediately. If you want a paper, we'll send you the PayPal information. If you did for America, Cash App Day, if you request them, we'll send them for you. If not, be so the people they will put them for in front television for people then for America. I did check WhatsApp messages, I did check Facebook messages, if you even send me a text message, even if you didn't have for ground zero and you also want make your own commitment for say you want buy bullets for the forces, reach out to me, we go direct you how you feel make that contribution directly from ground zero. Now they talk that for today. We want thank all man, we want salute all man. When a cafe day up. All right. We want also, I want to tell you, say we don't receive one salute Dr. Abu Free. Una sabi that our fine sister no way there for America. That doctor way na he be a good hustler. Doctor way open big company for keep all place. Make sure say place the clean fine. Doctor way it choose now for be a hustler for build better business. Dr. Abu Free don't send money for bullets. He don't send with $30 and one tell you thank you plenty. When I remember Dr. Abu Free now, that was sister where he do too much sport and he do too much nyanga. Doctor fitness, doctor in a doctor, but when I see on when they see the kind of fitness where you get them. I think saying that they lie that way don't go for La Republique. I think saying that way people that they show them so the people that for AC and they show them how light don't go off for inside stadium for La Republique du Cameroon. And that when I see them. Ambazonians when I see them. Light don't go off for La Republique. Pobia, you say one host nation cup. The light that don't go off. Cameroon, a country of shame and disgrace. Even small for stadium, when I know people light. A country of total shame and disgrace. Now that. When I never give people water for drink for our country, when I go host a Nations Cup championship. When I never move the team for our streets. When I go host a Nations Cup championship. Light when I not get them. When I want go host a Nations Cup championship. When I go borrow money, build stadium. Now that. Ambazona go show on something. Oh. Now La Republique du Cameroon that. Very shameful people them. Who's are the 90-year-old dictator there? Who's are there? Who's are the 90-year-old dictator Paul Biade? Who's are their colonial prime minister? Selina Diongute. Who's are they? Very disgraceful people then. Now be a shame for humanity. Anyway, that one a foreign news. They like disgrace. They never see no nothing. Make we conclude. I want to thank all my we don't participate today. We thank all the people that they don't send money for bullets. We thank the leader for a war of liberation. We thank the man where he give we, now he tell we with better sense. Say that self-defense, it go move we forward. We tell the man when he tell we say, we got to put guns and bullets on the ground. Dr. Abacho, one thank you plenty for the wisdom, for the intelligence, and all the knowledge we don't acquire them. For say make it stand, for deliver the Ambazonian people then. Make it stand, bring Ambazonians them together. For stand all we as one people. For free ourselves from the bondage of occupation from La Republique du Cameroon. One thank you say don't take the time for this evening. For join all we make we get this talk. We don't make our heart over sweet about what did happen, about the strategy and the work we did ahead of we. One thank you plenty. I want to thank all the people that don't call in today. I want to thank the chairman for Amber Coin. When I start this conversation for today, he put $500. One thank you plenty. Our brother for that side for Germany, we don't call. He talks he want give 500 euros. We thank you plenty. All the people them, the chairman for Egg of Sea Mission for Canada, Comrade Collins. We send $200. All the people that don't call in, they donate today. We want to when I say we'll be very, very happy with how all man don't respond to the call for give our forces them enough bullets for start the real gang 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 gang. All right. Tomorrow, I go to visit una as always for exactly 8 o'clock. I know say Saturday when I not see me online, Sunday when I not see me online. Today, na me and the leader will come get small story for a conversation for about uniting the forces and the stabilization plan. Tomorrow, I go come for the regular outing. I go to bring una all the news and the analysis which is going to happen. Will continue tomorrow. For now, I want just tell all when I say we'll be very happy for place where they as a people. We'll be very happy for the progress we make them as a people. We'll be very happy for the great news so they come out on the ground. We have forces that they come together, that they collaborate, that they fight together, that they unite together, and leadership there now for support all the forces them as they come together, they unite together. So with time kuna plenty. May God bless una. We love una. Una stay fine. We'll talk tomorrow. Una good night for all man.
Ambazonia Defense Forces, the vanguards of the Ambazonia War of Independence. Welcome to ACN, the Liberation TV of Ambazonia.